Conflicts are things that are predictable. Okay, so in life, there's sometimes what we call meteors, right? That come out of left field and they throw us off track, and those are unpredictable. They couldn't have been seen coming. So medical issues, health issues of our loved ones or family members. Those are things that just come at us and we can't plan for them. But conflicts are things that we know occur because they've showed up in the past, right? Or they're easily predictable about the future. So if you're, like for instance, if you're, 6 months pregnant, you know that you're going to have a baby in the next 6 months, right? And so, or in the next 3 months, sorry, yeah, it's a long pregnancy.
Yeah.
You know you're going to have a baby in the next 3 months. So that is a predictable conflict that is going to show up in your life. So I want you to start thinking about this as we're going to start off with responsibilities because we all have multiple responsibilities. And these responsibilities sometimes get in our way. So we're going to just start talking about what are other responsibilities. And then second is, how have these responsibilities prevented us from achieving our goal in the past, or how could these responsibilities prevent us from achieving our goal in the future? Now, oftentimes when we're in conflict, we believe that conflict is because it's an either or, right? Either I do this and give up this, or I do this, I do B, and I give up A, right? When there's oftentimes a third, fourth, fifth, sixth choice also at play, right? I mean, obviously you could do neither, or you could do both. But when we're in conflict, our energy shifts to victim, frustration, which is anger, which both leads to either apathy, which is non-movement, or anger, which is stubbornness, right? We're going to sit down, we're going to cross our arms, and we're not going to move forward. So what we have to do is we have to take these conflicted things and make them align with our goals. So we want to ask ourselves better questions. How can achieving our goal help in fulfilling our responsibilities? So by achieving our goal, how does that help fulfill our responsibilities? How does achieving our goal fulfill our responsibilities? So I'll give you some examples. I hear often, I was meeting with a gentleman the other day, very successful, and he said to me, he says, I want to build a real estate business, and I want to make $300,000 a year. Okay? Now, this is a gentleman who's not currently in real estate yet. In his prior career, he made over $300,000 a year. And he said, I'm looking at real estate as my opportunity to generate income. But I cannot work more than 30 hours a week because of my commitment to my ministry, because he came out to Colorado to start a church. So he's conflicted, right? The conflict of making $300,000 a year take home and working 30 hours a week, right? So that's an either or in many people's mind. You either give up all your other responsibilities in life and you focus on making $300,000 a year, or you work 30 hours a week and suffer with a low income, right? That's an either or. Yet my conversation with him was the third opportunity, which is, yes, for a period of time, you're going to have to work more than 30 hours a week. We're going to build a business. And in building and designing a business, by the end of the goal date of which the business is built, you'll be able to achieve $300,000 a year in income, working less than 30 hours a week, because you built a business that substantiates on people, process, and systems. right? It's going to rely on those things. So instead of his time, right? But in the short term, he is going to have to work longer than 30 hours a week, and he's going to have to learn new things, and he's going to have to invest money into process and systems and education in order to achieve those goals. But it's a third option, right? So how can achieving your goal help in fulfilling those responsibilities that you have? Did you get that? Did you get through that one? So then when I am blank, which is doing whatever your goal is, moving forward, working towards your goal, then I am supporting or helping what? What responsibility? Okay. Next is opportunities. The next conflict we have is typically opportunities. So what other opportunities do we have? What other opportunities are in your future? Think about that. We all have other opportunities. We all have other dreams and goals and aspirations. I rarely have run into anybody who said, this is the only thing I want to do forever and die, right? These other opportunities could be vacations. It could be travel. It could be anything else that conflicts. So think about it like this. What other accomplishments do you want to achieve? What other dreams do you have? Would you like some examples where this shows up? So, for me, what other opportunities do you have? Well, I get approached all the time with people offering me very interesting positions within their organizations, right? And they're oftentimes high paying, right? And so those things oftentimes show up as distractions, right? And I'm distracted for a period of time. These opportunities come at me. Or sometimes they're opportunities that are things that I kind of internally desire to want to do, but yet they're not right for me right now, right? Some of them are things I desire to do, and they are right, and it is the right time, but I don't have the time because I'm already committed to other responsibilities. What other accomplishments do you wish for? I wish to write a book, right, and to be published and be a New York Times bestseller, right? So that's something that I think about often. I wish to go on more speaking tours and to do more presentations, right? So I think about that often. What other dreams do you have? I dream to travel. I want to see the country. I want to see the world. I want to be more philanthropic and spend time in other countries giving back and donating. I dream about participating with youth groups and helping troubled teens. What do you fantasize about doing? Sitting on a beach, surfing. I think about that often.
Every day for the last 2 weeks.
Okay? So here's the great thing. If you realize that instead of these being conflicts and either ors, we just timeline them out. Some of these we have to look at and say, do I truly desire to accomplish this in my life? If I was to leave the planet today, would I regret not having accomplished this, right? Or if I was looking back at this at 80 years old, would I regret not accomplishing this or doing this or experiencing this, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to timeline it into your lifeline. So all things can be accomplished, just not all things can be accomplished at the same time. We want to layer them. Yeah, these things are not all work related. I mean, in fact, I think most of them are not work related. You know, oftentimes they're going to take money, they're going to require education, and they're going to require time, right? And those things are what challenge us the most, right? So then, if you answer the next question, if you were to put your dreams and accomplishments in a timeline or of your life, what order would you put them in? So if you were to line them in a timeline, what order would you put them in?
Exciting. It's going. He is good, of course. How are you? Right?
Now take each of these perceived conflicts or opportunities, the ones that seem, if you're conflicted in how do I measure them, which one is more powerful, right? Which one is a greater desire? Ask yourself the last question, which is, if you could have or achieve blank, but never achieve or have blank, is this okay with you? So for me, right, I have a real estate business, a coaching business. I desire to write books and go on speaking tours, right? Do speaking engagements. So I asked myself this question. If I could achieve having a best-selling book, but never achieve being a public speaker, would that be okay with me? And by answering that question, that's going to tell me which priority ranks higher, and of course, which one should be accomplished first.